professionals are a critical component of the civil engineering pipeline. As custodians of the profession, our young professionals have borne the brunt of the severe downturn in the construction industry pre-pandemic and are in an extremely vulnerable position as we look forward to sector recovery right now. Noluthando Zitha is a site engineer, having recently graduated from the University of Witwatersrand with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. She has served as the chairperson of the Wits SAICE student chapter in 2019 and 2020, and was selected as a WomEng Southern Africa Fellow in 2020. Join me in welcoming this passionate change maker to the platform. Noluthando, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Jessica, for the wonderful introduction. That was great. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and privilege to speak in such a platform. I would really like to commend SAICE for elevating the voice of young professionals like myself. I'm very young. Today's topic is one that I'm very passionate about. It was first introduced to me in 2018 when I first joined Wits student chapter as a subcommittee member. The topic I will focus on this evening is insights on effective ways of bridging the gap between young members and experienced professionals in the engineering journey. I will start by first explaining the building blocks to today's topic. I will then highlight some of the challenges we're facing today, possibilities, and solutions. What is bridging the gap? Bridging the gap simply implies to filling the space between two different things or people. In the context of today's topic, it talks to connecting students to young professionals with experienced professionals, and everyone in the game. Bridging the gap will soon ensure that the industry as a whole, that is, companies and tertiary institutions, including voluntary organizations like SAICE and EXA, will never run short of individuals with experience the moment current managers retire. There are a number of things that serve as proof that there is a gap, and that's our challenge today. That is, less people are involved in projects that support bridging the gap, such as mentorship. Not enough engagement, and many young professionals are unprepared for the working environment. Together as a unity, working on a common goal, we can narrow the gap, and before we know it, the gap will be non-existent. But where do we start, Thando, you may ask? Well, let me propose a start by sharing with you my grade 8 year theme. To whom much has been given, much is required. To me, the quote simply says everyone is held responsible for what they have, be it talents, knowledge, time, and the like. The universe then expects us to pay it forward and benefit others. Those people that we have benefited, they also are expected to pay it forward and benefit others, and so on. Over a decade later, I still resonate so much with the quote. And I believe the quote is a perfect quote to serve as a vital tool into bridging the gap that I'm talking about. By bridging the gap between the old and the young, inexperienced and experienced, as well as students, academia, and professionals in the engineering space. In my involvement with Wits SAICE and SAICE Johannesburg, I have witnessed the positive impact of speed mentoring and video series to both students and professionals. The 5 minutes long conversations between students and professionals have informed many decisions and have encouraged retention rates and have increased many people staying in the engineering field. That's why I graduated. Other ways of narrowing the gap include industry talks, LinkedIn, job shadowing, vacation work, and many more. I urge companies to give students vacation work. It's part of bridging the gap. To effectively narrow the gap, we are all responsible in making sure that all levels of engineering are merged. These levels include, but not limited to, engineering institutions, companies, tertiary institutions, and high school level. Other potential considerations include having a formal, well-structured mentorship program and positive representation at the workplace and its tertiary institutions. Encouraging everyone to share their story and creating and practicing the culture that promotes bridging the gap. This can be through sporting events, debates, and many more. I will leave you with sharing my own personal story. In my final year, whenever I thought about year 2021, that is last year, I would get really anxious about how life would be like, especially for me, a young female engineer in the construction industry. Things turned out differently. I got really excited and motivated when I learned that my supervisor is young and female. This made sense and became a positive affirmation that I'm at the right place at the right time. This is an example of positive representation in the industry. Imagine if everyone felt this way. Won't this make everyone feel welcome? Won't this increase productivity? And in turn, narrow the gap I'm talking about? Thank you.